Hi everyone, I'm Kofi from Film Club and this is one of our young ambassadors, Kerry.
Hello, I'm Kerry and we'd like to welcome you to today's webcast, which is coming to you live from the Edinburgh Film Festival, where we're broadcasting interviews with filmmakers all week. We're here today with Arran and Paul Gray, who are the directors of the short film Tree of Tule that is showing in the Family Shorts film programme in the Edinburgh Festival.
Thanks, Kerry. Just before we get started, I'd just like to say we always love to hear your thoughts and comments when we do these webcasts. It's really important to us, and I'll just let you know how you can actually do that. So you can send us these via Twitter by putting @FilmClubUK before every tweet you send in to us. You can also text us on the number that should be scrolling across the screen, or you can email us at joey@filmclub.org. So that's JOEY@filmclub.org. Just to let you know as well, if we encounter any technical hitches at all today, please do bear with us and we'll endeavour to sort them out as soon as possible.
So let's get started. Welcome to Arran and Paul and thank you for joining us today.
Lovely to be here.
As we mentioned, you're both here with your short film Tree of Tule. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your roles in the film and what it's about?
Well, it's about going on an adventure, trying to figure out where to put the seed and what's the best time and where to go.
So the film, we start off we're in Mexico. There's a famous tree in Mexico called the Tree of Tule, and it's the largest tree in the world. It's got the thickest trunk in the world, and we started our story there. And the tree speaks to Arran. Arran's the star of the film. We should have made that clear from the beginning. Yep. We've missed not talking about the roles and straight into the story. Arran stars in the film, but we're both credited as writer-director of the film. And then pretty much all the other roles of the editing, the camera work, I did that. And it's really with another few people helping out with us. It's largely just been a kind of two-person production.
Yeah, fantastic.
But the story, as Arran was saying, is that you speak to a tree, the tree asks you to help him, and he gives you a seed, and you have to take this seed along a long journey and plant the seed on a beach.
We've got a question from Lucy in Hedge Primary, who would like to know what you like best about making films.
Hi Lucy. What do you like best?
I like best the voiceovers. But I've always got this image in my head of me saying the same word over and over again.
We had to do, on the film, because we're filming, we filmed it in Mexico while we were on a family holiday travelling around. And we were making up the story kind of as we went along. And so when we came back, there was lots of bits kind of missing in the story. So we had to do a lot of voiceover work when we came back, didn't we? And you were, and then we did, because some of the sound wasn't great that we recorded at the time, you had to do something called ADR, which is additional dialogue recording, and you had to say the same line over and over again. Like?
I have in my head, what is it again? It's, can you help me out? Can you help me out? Can you help me out? Can you help me out?
Brilliant.
Now we'd like to show you show a clip from your film Tree of Tule, which is screening at the festival.
Hello there, young man. I said hello there, young man.
Who said that?
I'm right in front of you.
Who are you?
I am the Tree of Tula. I have stood here for a very long time.
Well, you're not just old, you're really big.
The biggest in the world. And I'm getting so many visitors now. And it's very tiring.
I'm sorry for that. Can I do anything to help?
Well, I hope you can.
What do you want me to do?
My roots are getting dry, and I've never seen the sea. I would like you to take this seed and plant it on a beach for me. I am sure I would be happy on the beach. Thank you, my friend. And if you meet friends of mine along your journey, just ask for help. I am sure they will be glad to.
Hello again. So, I hope you enjoyed that clip of Tree of Tule. It'd be really great if you could both tell us a bit about your filmmaking background and how you came to make this film. I absolutely loved it when I watched it, and I really like to know what inspired the story.
Well, once we were on the bus and we were going to the place where the biggest tree in the world was, and I said, why don't we make a movie? And then my dad says, well, we could make it about the biggest tree in the world, and it just went on from there.
So it was your initial idea?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the actual story, a lot of the detail of the story, really was Arran's inspiration. We just, so maybe to put it into a kind of a bigger context, we were on holiday in Mexico, and we'd been there a few days. We just left Mexico City, and we spent a lot of time on buses between the places that we were travelling around. We travelled, I think it was about 1,500 miles that we covered, you know, and visiting all these places. And so we just we came up with the idea that we thought, well, this tree is the largest tree in the world. Yeah. It's there's some concerns around the tree, and that the water that the tree obviously kind of lives off is being depleted, and they're concerned that the tree is maybe you know, in a bit of danger, just because of all the development in the area. So we just thought, well, maybe the tree would like to go somewhere else. Maybe it's a bit fed up with all these visitors. And that's where the idea came from. And then we just decided, well, we're travelling.
Yeah.
We'll see what we find as we go along. So
I wish I could be as creative in my holidays. That's brilliant.
Well, we had a lot of bus journeys where we sat and just discussed ideas and possibilities, and some of them completely unfeasible, and some of them you made it onto the screen in the end.
We were going to do one about a donkey, but we never saw a donkey.
We never saw a donkey in the whole of Mexico, did we?
Perhaps that could be your next project.
Yeah.
It's a really abstract idea for a film. So when you were younger, did you just, like, imagine things like that, like animals suddenly talking to you or trees talking to you?
Not really, but we just thought, well, if we want to know what's happened to the tree, then it has to speak some way. So then we speak to it. But in real life, it can't speak. It'd be amazing if it could.
So, I mean, obviously you've just told us about the family holiday that turned into a lot of creative inspiration to make this film. Did you ever imagine that it would end up at the Edinburgh Film Festival?
No. One word, no.
No, I mean, I think when it started off, it was just a bit of fun for us.
Yeah.
You know, when we were in Mexico, we didn't even have, you know, a proper film camera. I had a 5D, a Canon 5D, which is great. It shoots really lovely high definition footage, but it's not really a film camera. And you know, we went there. My background's in photography as well,
right,
so you know, kind of sort of taking a nice camera on holiday with me. And it just kind of snowballed. And when we came back, we started putting it together. We had a lot of stuff that we still had to do when we came back. So while the whole film is set in Mexico, there are some of it is actually shot in Edinburgh.
Right, okay.
So you know, there's a few pickups that we had to do. So we had to spend a long time down places like the Botanic Gardens trying to find things that looked like Mexico.
And the Dell.
And yeah, up in Collington Dell was another area, which doesn't look Mexican at all, but there's a few interesting little bits that you think, well, that looks quite exotic. So, yeah.
Brilliant.
So, what did you enjoy most about filming in Mexico?
I'd say the ants.
Enjoyed filming the ants?
Yeah.
It was hot when we did the ants, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was sweating like mad. Dad, can we get some water? Didn't have any. We drank it in those couple of first 3 seconds.
Brilliant.
Did you enjoy the experience of making the film, and do you have any funny stories from set?
There is one funny story. When we made an arrow pointing, because the ants said where we were supposed to go, and we done it, and then we had to go back for some water. But when we got the water and then came back to the place, it was gone. The ants had took it.
Yeah, because we made the arrow out of little bits of leaves, because the ants help us out and make an arrow to tell us which way to go. Yeah, we came back and they pinched a lot, hadn't they? That was our payment for starring in the film. We'd kind of helped them by tearing all the leaves out.
Brilliant. So I think one thing that's quite useful for a lot of our film club members to know is how does your film go from then you making it to it ending up in something like a film festival? Is it a submissions process?
Yeah, it's a submissions process. So with this film, we'd been working on it. Well, it was actually this day last year. We would be sitting on the plane going to Mexico. So it's taken, you know, from making it to the point where it had its premiere earlier today. That's been exactly a year. We finished off making it. We had a rough cut off it, so it wasn't completely finished. We hadn't finished off all the sound. We hadn't done the grading, which is correcting all the kind of the colour of the images. And I just submitted that to the film festival. You submit a DVD. You write up the information. You have to write a little blurb about it, and you send it in. You usually have to pay a little bit of money for doing that, and then a couple of months later, you get an email saying, "We'd love to show your film." And that was just it was wonderful.
Yeah, brilliant
to get that.
How did you feel when you found out?
I was nervous. I was like, "Can our class go?" 2 minutes later, no, I don't want them to go. No.
Because your whole class went this morning, didn't they? There was a special screening for school kids in Edinburgh today, and you went along with all of the kids in your class, which I think was quite nerve-wracking for you, wasn't it?
And also some from a different school.
Yeah, there's about 100 kids there. So.
How did that feel then, sitting with a big group of kids and just seeing yourself up on the big screen?
Experiencing your face stretched out. Half of the time I was looking through my hands.
You were at first, weren't you? You were a bit nervous about it, but it was really well received. It was really lovely.
And you must be very proud. There's not that many people that I'm sure will be in your class that could say, "I've made a film."
Yeah, all of the people in my class wanted my autograph.
That's what happens. You're a film star now.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to film how long did the process take?
Well, we were in Mexico for a month, and we weren't filming all the time when we were there. It was really, I mean, it's so, a lot of the time you were talking about the ants, and it was so hot then. And, you know, so there were kind of short periods that we'd be filming if we found something interesting. So the ants were great, and then we came across some iguanas, and they're in the film, and obviously around the tree. And usually we wouldn't be filming for maybe more than an hour at a time. And I don't know how many times we were filming.
Quite a
but
lot.
Every 2 or 3 days we would be doing something, and sometimes a little bit more than that. And then when we came back, it was really, because it was a labour of love, you know, we were doing that in our spare time and around Arran's school and around my work as well. That, basically, the rough cut was finished by January. That's when it was submitted to the festival. As soon as we found out that it had gotten to the festival, then it was very quickly, okay, I've got some work to do now. And we had some additional voiceover to record, and we had to tidy up the sound. The sound we had quite a lot. That's where we got a lot of help. So we had a sound designer involved in that, and someone who mixed the sound for us as well. Yeah, so all in all, from beginning to end, as a kind of hobby, you know, doing little bits and pieces, nearly a year to complete the whole thing. There's lots of other things that you have to do around a film. I should maybe say this about the festival. When you put a film in the festival, you think, great, that's the film done. And then you realise that there's so many other things to do, and you know, you've got a lot of documentation to do, and to put a website together, and to make trailers, and lots of other things that, because it was just the two of us, you know, it's quite labour intensive when you've got a big team together. There's people who have that as a role. So
fantastic. We've got a few more questions, but I think we're probably going to have to wrap up. And I think what we were going to do is actually just show a clip just now from the film, and then come back with some questions.
Hello, bit Lance. I think I'm a bit lost. I need to find the ocean. Can you help?
Of course we'll help. It's this way. Yeah, this way. Come on, over here. This way. Why can't I hear? Oh, come on, this way. Let's make an arrow. There we go. So we have to go now.
That's really clever, Ants. Thanks.
Good luck. Good luck.
Hello again. Well, our Twitter feed has been going a bit mad. I think there are a lot of people who would really like to know about the film and want to ask you some questions. So I've just got a couple, and Kerry's got a couple as well, if you don't mind answering them.
Great, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a question from Lauren from St Mary's Abbot School.
Hi, Lauren.
Who would like to know how much you enjoyed making the film.
We enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Some parts were a bit, should we do this, should we do that? But yeah, we enjoyed it.
It was a great, when we were in Mexico and we were filming, it was fantastic fun. Yeah. And then some of it afterwards, it was quite hard work, but overall it's just been a fantastic experience doing that.
Brilliant. Fantastic. I've got another question from St Mary Abbot School, and it's from Shane. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Hi, Shane.
And this is specifically for Arran.
Okay.
And she would like to know if you've been in any other films.
Well, when I was 6, was it?
Yeah, we made a couple of smaller films, haven't we?
Yeah, we started them, but we've never finished them. But we can't really finish it now because I'm much older.
Jump in age, yeah. But there's not been anything in a festival or anything like that, so
We could maybe make another one.
I think we might.
I hope you do. I hope you do. I really enjoyed that one, so I hope you do, definitely.
Well, that leads on to Sabina's question, also from St Mary Abbots. She'd like to know if there's going to be a sequel.
I don't. Yeah, well, we'll have to come up with something. I think this one's so fresh in our mind that I mean, I don't know if we would necessarily make another film around this as a sequel, but I think we'll definitely make another film at some point because I know, well, that's something I do a lot of anyway, and I think you've really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, I'd like to do that again.
And Lucia from St Mary Abbots would like to know how long is the Tree of Tule, and have you... sorry, I can't read this. What does that one say?
Have you made any other films?
So the Tree of Tule is 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes and 10 seconds long exactly, because 10 minutes is quite a magic number for if you're submitting short films to festivals. It seems to be a kind of recommended length of time for films. And yes, I've made 3 short films before this one, and my background before that was in photography, and I've done some kind of video works for galleries and a lot of photography work. And it's just been over the last few years that I've made some. I had, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, I had 2 short documentaries in the festival as well.
Okay. So. Brilliant.
Well, that's all we have time for today. So thank you for sending in your questions and comments, and thank you very much to Paul and Arran for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's been really inspirational, and we wish you best of luck with your film.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I've got to say a big thanks to you as well. It was really, really good. So thank you very much for listening to our primary webcast today. Please do tune in tomorrow from 3:30 p.m. We'll be interviewing 2 short film directors who have made the films Nomads and Hannah and the Moon, and they're in the Family Shots programme here at the Edinburgh International Film Festival. So it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
See you later.